Hello everyone, many thanks for joining us. I'm Warren Butler, Marketing Director at Preact, and today I'm joined by some of the team from Cooper Parry IT Solutions to discuss Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Teams and how this technology is helping organisations build a thriving digital culture. Let's get straight into it with an introduction from Paul Hayes, who will talk about Cooper Parry and their approach to digital culture.
Hi everyone, I'm Paul Hayes. I head up the modern workplace part of the business at Cooper Parry in our IT solutions department. Hope you're all well. Firstly, thank you so much to Preact for inviting us along to talk to you today. Hopefully we're here to add some value and to help you understand more about what Microsoft Modern Workplace is, and in particular Microsoft 365, but hopefully also what makes us unique in the way in which we work with our clients, which is different to just delivering technology. So let's talk a little bit about us just for a second. So traditionally Cooper Parry were an accountancy firm, or we are an accountancy firm with an IT solutions arm, but we were founded in 1850, very traditional, as you'll see from this photograph. Now, we definitely needed to change. If you looked at us 160 years on, we were very much similar, where we had a very traditional look, very much grey, as a lot of accountancy firms out there were. And we wanted to change, we wanted to be more bright, more bold, and wanted to disrupt in our marketplace. And that's really our ethos throughout all of our services that we offer. So we needed to change. And we sure did change. We were very bright and vibrant in our colouring, as you will see. You'll see pink balls in our office if you go to Birmingham, and we've evolved from a office-based perspective, but we've also evolved from a product and service perspective as well as a people perspective. So culture is hugely important to us. So we feel that what we've done within our business culturally has given us, has meant that we've been actually awarded and recognised as a Times Top 100 company to work for the last 5 years. This year we was awarded 8th out of 100, and we're certainly aiming for number 1. But to get to that level of engagement within our people and to have that real positive culture, we've really had to leverage technology. We ourselves use Teams, we use a number of power apps, and we leverage that technology to help and support our people and our clients, and what we've really wanted to do is really help our customers learn from how we've been operating. So naturally we're a Microsoft Gold partner. We have several gold accreditations. So what are we about as an IT solutions department? We lead with digital culture. Digital culture is number 1 for us. So if you look on our website, we're digital culture powered by Microsoft 365. So we don't focus initially on the technology. If you're a new client coming to us and you wanted to talk about your own technology, we would want to talk to you about your business initially. So we will be talking to you about your vision, your goals, your dreams as a business, and really getting to grips with your business and understanding where you want to go and what you want to do before we start considering any type of technology for you, because we have to make sure that the technology we put in place for you matches your dreams and your goals. So how we do that, Brad will talk to you later about a digital culture review, I'm sure, but we like to take our clients through a journey and ensure ultimately that they start off with a really strong digital strategy. We can then start to look at how we embed that digital strategy within a business. Now, we focus purely on in 3 areas. Those three areas are adoption, so technology adoption, security, and also support and IT support to wrap all that up. So they're the three areas we really focus in, very much Microsoft based as a business, and all our focus is around Microsoft. The IT solutions department is split into two areas. I mentioned one in the fact that we focus on digital culture powered by Microsoft 365, which is our modern workplace practice. The other side is our finance practice, where we are number one in the world right now for delivering business central solutions. So coming back to modern workplace though, and what we're going to talk to you about today in this webinar, looking at the agenda, which is on the slide right now, we're going to talk to you about Microsoft 365. Now, this is technology based, but what we do find within a lot of our business, a lot of the clients that we deal with, is that they don't clearly understand what they've invested in. Whether you've got Office 365, which is now Microsoft 365, of course, there's a huge amount of apps in that solution that you've purchased. So first of all, you're paying for something. Are you maximizing the use of it? So actually, I was going to talk to you about what's in there and how we can potentially help you maximize your return on investment. Jordan's then going to come in and talk to you about Microsoft Teams. Hopefully he's going to tell you some bits that you don't know. Microsoft Teams is a fantastic collaboration platform. I'm sure because of COVID-19, some of you will be using it and seeing the benefits of it, but there's so much to it, and we can hopefully teach you something new and how it can benefit your business. Brad's then going to come in and talk to you about digital culture and really just focus a little bit more in on why that's important before we then run into a Q&A. So I'll leave you at that. I'm going to hand over to Akshar. I hope you enjoy the webinar and look forward to speaking to you at the end.
Hello everyone, my name is Akshar Apte and I'm a technical consultant here at Cooper IT. We're going to start things off by talking about Microsoft 365. So what is Microsoft 365? Shouldn't it be called Office 365? Well, the short answer is yes and no. As of the 21st of April, Microsoft rebranded the consumer and small business plans of Office 365 to Microsoft 365. The only plans that retain the Office banner are their enterprise products. Now, it's worth mentioning at this point that this is literally just a change of name. There's no difference in the functionality between the previous products and the new ones, and unfortunately, there are no additional cost benefits either. The main objective of doing this was to streamline their product offerings and to be able to easily differentiate between small business and enterprise products. If you head over to our website, you'll see this table which compares some of the more commonly used M365 licenses. The basic and standard plans simply give you access to various Office applications like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, but when you get to the premium plan, that's where things start to get a little bit more interesting. As you can see from the table, there are 3 extra bits in the premium plan that are actually quite significant. So let's see what they are and why they might be useful to you. Firstly, Windows 10 Business. So with this license, you not only get an Office 365 subscription, but you also get a Windows 10 subscription. This is great if you've got PCs that are running Windows 7, Windows 8, and you've been looking to upgrade to Windows 10. The next thing on this is ATP Plan 1. ATP stands for Advanced Threat Protection, and some of the features that it gives you are things like safe attachments and safe links to protect your emails. It also has anti-phishing checks to prevent end-user accounts getting compromised, a whole raft of real-time reporting and insights, and the best thing about it is that the security features extend to other products like SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams. The last thing on this is PC and mobile device management. This lets you encrypt your devices, remotely wipe them, and basically protect company data on any portables. So this is one of my favorite images because it shows you all the apps that you have access to under an M365 license. What I've done here is classified those apps into different categories. The idea is that if you know what you want to achieve, you can zone into the desired suite and then pick the right product for the job. Let's begin with the productivity suite. You've got apps like Word and Calendar in here that don't really need any introduction. Microsoft Tasks is also part of Outlook Calendar, and I'm sure we've used that at some point as well. There's Microsoft OneNote, which is your personal digital notebook, and you can use it to quickly type, record, sketch, or write your ideas into. OneDrive is your personal cloud storage. You can use it to store, access, and edit documents across all your devices, laptops, tablets, or mobiles. Then we have Planner. Planner is a fairly new app that lets you create plans, assign tasks, and share files with others. It's a basic project management tool, and it comes included in your M365 license. To finish off this suite, we have To Do. To Do is a task management app that helps you plan and manage your day. It has an easy-to-use and intuitive app which can be used on your mobiles. Moving on to the communication suite. Microsoft Teams is the first app we're going to look at. Jordan's going to go into it in more detail later in this presentation. We also have apps like Outlook and People. Outlook is your default mail client, and the People app, which is available on its own online, is also integrated into Outlook. Next in this suite, we have Yammer. Yammer is a social networking tool for the organization. It helps you engage across the entire business in order to discuss ideas, share updates, or network with people who aren't directly in your team. It really helps to break down some of these barriers in large organizations. Moving on to the presentation suite. This section is all the apps that you use to share content with an audience, whether that be internal or external to your business. Firstly, PowerPoint obviously needs no explanation, and it's been around for years. I'm sure everyone's used it at some point in time. Let's look at Sway. So Sway is kind of a new way of presenting content to audiences. It's online only, so it's completely web-based and doesn't have a desktop app. How it differs from PowerPoint is that it is really interactive and it uses a more natural way of editing documents. So things like talking about the emphasis of an element rather than a font size or a picture or an image size. Because it's online, sharing content is really easy because all you have to do is send people a web link to your Sway. The other platform here is Stream, which is a video platform. So Stream is a video service where you can upload your own content or curate content that's already within your organization. You can also use it to share videos securely because it relies on the security aspects of your SharePoint. It can also be used to run live events. Moving on to the Data, AI and Automation suite. Now I'm sure we're all familiar with Excel from this section, so I'm going to skip right past it and on to Delve and My Analytics. Both of these apps use Microsoft's AI to help understand your work patterns and interactions. Delve will help to discover and organize information that's most likely relevant to you right now across the entire M365 suite. My Analytics provides insights into personal productivity and really helps you achieve a work-life balance. The next thing here is Forms. Forms allows you to quickly put together online surveys and quizzes, and these can be sent out again via a simple link, again internally or externally. Typical users for this would be customer feedback forms or employee engagement forms, or even a customer form that's linked to your website. The other product on this is Flow. Now this has recently been renamed to Power Automate, and it lets you automate business processes. It's got a really powerful workflow designer, and you can hook multiple systems within the M365 family as well as external apps into it. Next we have Power Apps. Power Apps allows users with little or no coding experience to create simple business applications. These apps can be shared over Teams, for example, to anyone within the business or even outside. And lastly, we have Power BI. So Power BI lets you connect to various data sources within the organization and create powerful reports and dashboards. It's a really powerful tool, and there is also a paid version of this which extends the features of what's available for free. And lastly, we've got the Extended Suite. This includes other apps that are either part of the Microsoft family but require a separate subscription, or MileIQ, which actually is part of the M365 suite but doesn't really fit in any of the other categories. Let's talk about MileIQ first. It's a digital mileage recording tool which you can download onto your phone, and it uses your GPS to track your work trips. It also lets you categorize these into client visits, personal trips, or commutes, and then provides a helpful travel and expense report at the end of each month. The other apps on this suite, Project, Visio, and Dynamics 365, require a separate Microsoft subscription. The reason they've made it to the wheel is because they interact with all the other apps and can share data within all the apps in the suite. The one app, obviously, that we haven't spoken about in all these suites is SharePoint. As you can see, it's the little red slice of pie that extends all around the circle. The reason we've left it separate is because it is the backbone for all the apps within this suite. SharePoint provides collaboration and security across the board, and most of the apps will back their data onto SharePoint. With that, I'll now hand over to Jordan, and he's going to take you through Microsoft Teams.
Hi, I'm Jordan from Cooper Parry IT. I'm a technical consultant, and I'm going to show you a brief tour of Teams, and then the second part of it will be a kind of tips and tricks section, things you might not know. So to start off, I'm going to go over how to access Teams. So there's multiple ways of doing it. There's the mobile app in the Android and iOS store. There's the web client, which is available by going to teams.microsoft.com. So if you open any browser and then type in teams.microsoft.com, that'll get you to this page. And then finally, there's the desktop client, which again works across all OSs and is the most popular. So just by clicking this. So here we have the desktop client, and I'm just going to show you a brief tour around here. So left-hand side is your navigation pane, so how you skip between the different apps or sections, if you like. Top right is where you can customize some of the Teams activities and your status. So if you click on, you can see my photo there. If I click that, we have the different statuses. So you have available, busy, do not disturb. So do not disturb is a great one if you don't want any notifications or anything like that to pop up while you're in the zone. There's also the set status option, which I use a lot. So if you're working on something in particular, you want to give someone a bit more information, you can pop that in there. So, or if you go out for lunch, or if you're away from your desk, whatever, you can just pop a message in there. So for example, going for a walk. And then the good thing about this is if you press this show when people message me, anytime someone tries to mention you in Teams or send you an instant message, this will pop up first. So they get this little tooltip, if you like, and then you can set custom time zones and stuff like that. And then hit done, and then you can see there. So if we go back over to the left-hand side, you'll see that we've got activity, chat, Teams, calendar, and calls. We're not going to go over all this today. We're just going to quickly go into chat. So this is your one-to-one chat, one-to-many. Very straightforward. You hit the new paper and pencil here, which says new chat. Type in the person's name that you want to talk to. Press account chooser, for example, and then you have your instant messaging. And you can just send messages. So that's sent to test messages there. Again, it's instant. If you want to do some customizations to the messages, you can press this A. Probably the one to note is that you can use delivery options. So you can press this exclamation mark here and you can switch between the different options here. So if I want to send an important one, I'll click that. And you can see it changes some of the formatting and makes it stand out a bit more. So if I hit send on that, there you go. So it's slightly different, and then that will pop up on the end user's machine. So that's one-to-one chat. You can then go from video. You can go to video or audio by pressing one of the relative buttons at the top, or you can share your desktop. So you have all them buttons there. If you want to bring another person into the chat, you can press the plus button here and type in another user. So type in Nathan, for example, and hit add. You'll see now that it's created a brand new chat with me, Nathan, and the accounts user. And then at any point we can rename that, so make it a bit more relevant, because you can imagine you've got more and more teams down here, the more information that you've got and got to try and filter through. So we can give this one a name here, so maybe it's about a particular event, so we'll just put event XYZ, hit save, and there you go. Just give it a name so it stands out a bit more. So some other things to note in here, kind of a tip if you like, is if you talk to people quite often, you can see here that we've got someone's pinned. So you can right click on any of them and hit pin, and what it'll do is keep it in that top section. So if you talk to people quite often, you can right click on them and pin them, and that'll stay right at the top there. So that's the section on chat. Quick little overview, very straightforward. Moving on to calendar. So if you hit calendar, this is exactly the same as your Outlook calendar. It will sync between the two. So just they both got the same kind of functionality, but just so you know how to create new meetings and schedule meet nows, I'll quickly go through it. So what I like to do is find when I want to give the have the Teams meeting and select that area. So let's say we'll select that area there, and then it goes straight into a new meeting kind of wizard, if you like, where you can type in the name of the meeting, any people you want to put in here. So this again could be internal or external. We'll just put Nathan in there. Set all your time zones, etc. Put any details you want to there and hit send. So just like Outlook, this will send then Nathan a meeting invite asking them to accept or decline and suggest a new time, all that kind of stuff, similar to your Outlook experience. The other way of doing it is just by in the top right up here, you've got two options. You can meet now. So obviously that will start a meeting request right now. So if I press that button there, you're going to like the meeting dialog. If you close that, and then again, you can do schedule by pressing new meeting, giving it the same kind of name, but this time it's going to do it for right now. So if you want to schedule it, we'll just say 30, for example. And then hit save. Well, sorry, after you've invited somebody, so let's go for the accounts user and Nathan this time, and then hit send. And then that's going to set that meeting up. So there's two kind of ways you do it. And again, you can do the exact same thing from Outlook if you want to. So if you go to Outlook, you go to a new Teams meeting and it's in there. So that's some of the basics discussed and gone through. Relatively straightforward stuff. Just wanted to give you a bit of a taster for that. I'm going to go through now some of the things that make Teams a bit easier to get around, some customization you can do to make it a bit more personal, and just some of the tips I like to use quite often to get me around Teams. So starting of all, we'll start with just a customization appearance kind of thing, if you like. You can go into Teams, and you can see here by default you get this M for marketing, general channel, and this means it's a private channel. But as you can see, they start all looking the same. A bit samey, hard to find them if you've got loads of teams. So one thing you can do, you can right click on any of your channels and press edit channel, and then you've got the basic name in there, but let's just say this is to do something to do with holidays, and you want to just put an emoji in there. So all I've done there is press Windows key and full stop, and it brings up this little dialog menu here, and let's just make it a bit more custom. So let's put in this one a tick, for example. Hit save, and then you can see there it's put that tick there, so it just makes it stand out a bit more. That's all, nothing more than that. So we can go to edit this channel as well. So this is a secret channel, so let's see if there's something for a padlock. No, let's Windows full stop again. Is there a lock? Yep, there we go. So if we type in lock, and let's go for this one here, and then hit save. So you can see that it just stands out a bit more, gives it a bit more customization. You also can change the icon if you like here. So you can right click on that one and do manage team this time. And then under settings, you have under here team picture. So you just literally just press change team picture and then upload any picture you want. Again, it's just to help make it stand out, that's all. So another thing I like to do is press the Control E, which basically puts me into this search bar at the top. So if you see here, I press Control and E, it should automatically take me into the search bar. So you see kind of the change there. So just again, look at the top, it says search for type, search or type of command. If I could press Control E, it'll take me straight to there. And then what I like to do from there, for example, is set my status. So I'll do / and say I'm busy, for example. Hit that there. And then you can see that switched to the busy. My status is switched to busy at the top there. So again, if I wanted to switch back, I could press Control E, / and available. So it does A, and there you go. You can see now it's green at the top. So that's very quick. Instead of me going to click it, going to available and choosing one from here, I could just press Control E and get it quickly from there. And again, if I want to send someone a chat, I would do Control E, press the @ symbol and type in the person's name. So Nathan in this case, and then type in a message. So hello, test message from Quickbar. Hit enter, and that's sent in the message. I press enter again if I want, and that will switch me straight back to the chat, and there's the message. So you can see that that's a lot quicker than going. So let's just say I was in Teams, and then I realized I wanted to send Nathan a message. I'll then have to click chat, find his name, and then send him a message. Whereas using this search or command bar at the top, you get things a lot quicker. So just to go over that again, it's Control E, and then @ if you want to send someone a message, or if you want to call them, you can type in / call, and then type in the person's name, Nathan. So again, it's just getting you a bit quicker and getting around. So another cool piece of functionality inside Teams is the WhoBot. So the WhoBot is kind of like a discovery tool that helps you find people inside your organization, managers, new starters, your org chart, that kind of stuff. So for example, I'm logged in at the moment as Jordan. Now I just wanted to check who my manager is. So who is my manager, just for example, type that in there. It's going to go away, think about it, and it's telling me that my manager is account user 1. Then if I want to know who he works with, I could press that in there, and it's telling me that account user 1 works a lot with Matt Jones and Steve Brooks in this example. So you can ask loads of questions. It's just a bot, Microsoft bot, that will go away and search your tenant to find out these attributes have been populated, and if they are, it will return the results. So great for new users who want to see the org chart or find someone who works on something similar to them. So at the top here, you can see I've got your org chart. You can click that, and then it'll tell me show me the org chart in there. So that's really useful. So the last thing I want to show is the new feature pop-out chat. So it's relatively new. It's only available in the desktop app at the moment. So if you hit chat, so I could come over here and press chat there, or you can press Control and 2 on your keyboard, and that'll take you to the same place. So if I press Control and 1, that gets you to your activity, and Control and 2 will take me to chat. So another shortcut there for you. So once you're in your chat, you then have this little box with an arrow, if you like, where you can pop out the chat. So this is great if you've got multiple chats and you want to keep them side by side to see what's going on. You can open it up, open as many as you want. You can see there, I have one, and then the other chat there. So there's your chats popped out. So that will stay persistent when you flick through. Again, that'll still be there, open. So you can always keep your chat open. So that's a nice little new feature that they brought out recently. And hopefully that speeds up your productivity inside there.
Hello everybody, my name's Brad Martin and I'm one of the cloud sales specialists of the CPIT team, and I want to speak to you a little bit about digital culture. First of all, we hear this phrase an awful lot these days, but what does digital culture actually mean? Well, it's the digital platform that you provide for your users and how they adopt and behave within the environment provided. At CPIT, we're very famous for our culture and have been hugely successful from it. And a massive part of this is driven through our digital culture. A successful digital culture, when executed correctly, can help your business retain staff and reduce churn. Recruitment costs are high, let alone the time it takes to train new members of staff. It can increase happiness in the workplace, which you cannot put a price on. It will give your business flexibility to open up your talent pool geographically. You can help create a family-based culture where employees feel part of the fabric of the business. And finally, allow different generations to communicate and collaborate together and increase productivity. In some businesses, we have up to 5 generations in the workforce, so it's important to create a culture which allows these different generations to communicate. So, at CPIT, we help our clients prepare, support, and reinforce their digital culture strategy and make sure it flows into communication and collaboration platforms such as Microsoft Teams. Ultimately, we want to make the technology work harder for your business. So, how do we set out on this journey? Well, firstly, it's very important to benchmark your appetite and readiness for a new culture. The way that we help our clients is we send out a digital culture review survey to the business owner and to business leaders. And once we receive the results back, we know exactly where your business is at that particular point in time. And it will also help identify key points and start to create a culture that lends itself back to the business's core values. The great thing about our digital culture review is that it's absolutely free of charge and there's no obligation to spend a penny. Once the results are received, we invite the business owner and the business leaders onto a Teams call to review these results in detail. The survey covers key topics such as current issues, security, flexibility, and the business goals of the client. So, I'm going to leave you with 5 top tips on creating a successful digital culture. Number 1, be consistent across your entire business, from your website to the way that you internally communicate with colleagues, to your marketing. Make sure that there is a consistent tone of voice for that culture through all platforms. Number 2, identify the right champions in your business to drive your culture through the very heart of the business and be an extended voice of the business owner through all departments. Number 3 is a very important tip for a successful digital culture, and that is to stay true to your core values. Number 4, it's very important to embrace your employees' feedback at regular intervals to help tweak particular issues that arise with digital culture. A digital culture is something that always evolves, so it's important to hear the voice of your employees. And finally, we spend a lot of time at work, so don't be afraid to make it fun. Some professional humour can go a long way.
Many thanks, Brad, and to all the team at Cooper Parry. We hope you found that a useful overview and you picked up some new shortcuts that will help you navigate Microsoft Teams. If you want to find out more about any of the topics we've covered today and take the next step to strengthen your organisation's digital culture, please visit our website to arrange a free review with the CPIT team. We're going to pause for just a moment to take a look at your questions which have come through before we move on to the Q&A.